All right, it is now 6:35, so we're going to go ahead and get this meeting kicked off and just anybody join, just let them in as the meeting's going. So that's to give you back some time to your evening. Good evening. This is the Panola Road Phases 1 and 2 Water Main Replacement Project. Next slide, please. Next slide. There we go. So we're going to hear tonight, we're going to tell you a little bit about Panola Road water main replacement, the how and why we are doing this project. That's one that you probably want to know, and what what to expect during the construction. I'm Kerry Williams. I'm Deputy Director for DeKalb County Watershed, and I am a resident of DeKalb County as well. Next slide, please. Want to pay greetings to our commissioners whose district this project will reside in, which is Commissioner Marita Davis, District 5, and Commissioner Ladina Bolton, Super District 7. I'm not sure if we have representatives from their office here or the commissioners are here. They are. I can stop for a minute and let them say a word or two. Do we have anybody representing either of these district offices? All right. If not, we will keep going. If they happen to join, I can pause and allow them to speak for a minute. Next slide, please. So you're looking right now, you see our agenda. We're going to come to you tonight with several speakers, myself as one, and you will hear from the construction management team, who are the boots on the ground. They'll tell you about the construction, what to expect, how long, and in public outreach, they'll tell you the communication protocols that's going to take place and how to reach certain people when you have need information. Next slide, please. So a little bit of what we do. In short, we send clean drinking water to your house. We take dirty water from your house and we treat it and send it back in this area, we send it to the South River. How do we do it? We do it through two wastewater plants, both located in South DeKalb. That is the Snapfinger plant and the Pole Bridge plant. These plants take wastewater from your homes, treat it, release it back into the South River. We also send clean drinking water to your homes. We do that via the Scott Candler water treatment plant, which withdraws water from the Chattahoochee River. We treat it, we send it to your homes there. And we do this through a network of pipes, over 5,000 miles of pipe, of distribution pipe and collection pipe. These pipes have to be maintained. Unlike asphalt, you can see a road when it's deteriorating, but you can't see a pipe underground when it's deteriorating. We have technology that we can see it. And so that is part of why we are replacing this. These pipes are 70, 50, 70 years old, older than a lot of us on this call. Next slide, please. Oh, why are we replacing the water lines? Again, customer service. This is what you pay rates for to help upgrade, replace infrastructure. As I told you before, these pipes are 70 plus years old. They've been in the ground since the water system was created. So their useful life is up. So we're replacing them and to reduce the water main breaks that you see. If you go on that Covington Highway today, you would have seen one down there at the intersection of Covington and Redan that we repaired. And this improved customer service and just again, in general, an upgrade of our system that needs to be upgraded. Out of sight, out of mind. Most people don't think about it, but it's there and it does need to be replaced. Next slide, please. Helping us with this project, we have consultants, contractors, contractor being Ruby Collins, contractor, that's the guys that actually put the pipe in the ground, AECOM engineering firm that helps us, along with other people within the county and other firms that help us do public outreach and those type things as well. So right now, next slide, please. I'm going to quiet myself. I'm going to let the real people that do the real work talk to you. So I'm going to turn it over to Miss Cassandra Marshall. She will tell you about the problem and the solution, and I will be quiet, and you may hear it back from me towards the end of the presentation. Ms. Marshall, the floor is yours. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Carrie. Again, my name is Cassandra Marshall. I am the Assistant Director of Watershed Management. My duties include overseeing the watershed management $4.27 billion capital improvement projects and managing the construction management staff. I have over 25 years of experience in construction management, and I am also a certified construction manager, project management professional, and water professional. Next slide. Next slide. All right, thank you. All right. As Carrie said earlier, the problem is primarily the pipe is just old. Most of the pipe was put in the 1950s and the 1960s. In this area, the county has been faced with over 85 water main breaks from 1989 to 2024. The pipe material in this area is primarily old tuberculated cast iron pipe and cement pipe. The lifespan for these pipes are generally 70 plus years. And as the number of pipe failures increase with time, this is a good indicator that the pipe needs to be replaced, which is why we're replacing the pipes today. Next slide.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Andre Martin, and I'm on the capital improvement team working on the Panola Phase 1 and Phase 2 projects. So in 2024, the commissioners approved the new CIP bill for about 4.27 billion, as Cassandra just spoke of, and it was going to be completed by 2025 to 2034. So you say, what is capital improvement and CIP? It's a project that helps to maintain and improve our assets. It's the new construction and replacement of our old aged infrastructure. And Panola Road is one of the projects that are in this CIP program. It's an $18 million project. The CIP team is responsible for executing the work to be done after the engineering has been completed. Next slide, please. Panola Road phases 1 and phase 2. In phase 1, we're installing nearly 1,900 linear feet of 8-inch pipe and almost 10,000 feet of 12-inch DIP pipe. These will serve the new water lines, hydrants, valves, and we will have pavement restoration, and meter boxes will be set to grade once we have the contractors put the pipe in the ground. The trench that the pipe we put in is in the middle of the road or over to the side. It will be milled and resurfaced once the new main is installed. The 6-inch main that is existing out there is going to be abandoned, and we are going to grout fill it in place with non-shrink grout. The site conditions shall not be altered very much from the existing conditions, and all the disturbed pavement and landscaping will be replaced in kind. We will always maintain our erosion control best management practices, which was what the BMPS is, and they will be installed throughout the site where it's needed. And we will try to not leave more than 1,000 feet of trench open at one time so that we can make sure we can pave it or plate it daily. Next slide, please. Phase 1 of the project is, if you can see from the map, is going from Salem Road up to Farrington. There will be about 1,000 residents impacted by this phase of the project. It's in DeKalb County, and the following streets will be impacted. That will be Panola, and then it's going up Big Miller Grove, West Farrington, Cavalier Crossing, Thompson Mill Road, Winslow Crossing, Blackfoot Drive, Rock Springs Road, Salem Springs Place, Oak Tree Way, and Cedar Rock Drive. Next slide, please. Panola Phase 2. We're also installing nearly 1,100 feet of 8-inch water line and a little over 10,000 feet of the 12-inch ductile iron water main. Both of these pipes will be ductile iron pipes. Again, it's going to be hydrants, valves, and we will have pavement restoration as well. Similar to phase 1, it's going to be trench is going to be milled and resurfaced. And just like phase 1, we're going to take out the old 6-inch main, and we're going to grout fill it as well. The site conditions will not be altered, and then we'll have paving back and landscaping will be placed in kind, similar to phase 1. And also like phase 1, we'll try to keep the open section of the trench not more than 1,000 feet so that we can plate it or pave it on a daily basis. Next slide, please. On the phase 2 project, if you look at the slide, it's about 1,000 residents impacted by this section, and the streets that are going to be affected will be Panola Road, Brownsville Road, Panola Valley, Sandy Lake Way, Miners Creek Circle, Miners Creek Road, and Snapfinger Road. Next slide, please. And I will now hand it over to my compatriot and one of our chief senior inspectors, Mr. Mark Nooks.
Thank you so much, Mr. Marshall. Good evening, everyone. My name is Mark Nooks, and I'm one of the inspectors assigned to the Panola Road Phases 1 and 2 projects. What we're going to do this evening is I'm going to provide you some information on the construction overview during this meeting. Next slide, please. See, the team and I are the first line of contact on this project. From the first day of commencement, the team will be on site to make sure that the construction activities are done correctly. We want to ensure that the erosion and sedimentation controls are in place. We will keep the contractor accountable to ensuring the work is performed to the contract documents, contract drawings, and specifications from DWM. All customer complaints will be resolved in a timely manner. Most importantly, we will ensure that the safety, not only for the contractors, but the residents in the neighborhood, is our paramount process. And lastly, traffic control will be maintained using police officers, trained flaggers, and signage to ensure a smooth flow of traffic. Next slide, please. So the method of construction is called the open cut method. It is a traditional and it's a widely used technique for installing water mains. It involves excavating a trench along the desired path, which Mr. Martin explained and talked about. And then we're going to be placing the new water main in the trench. Then we're going to be backfilling it and restoring the surface. This method provides direct access to the water main, making it ideal for straightforward installation and repairs. It's most commonly used in areas where surface disruption is accessible or where trenchless methods are not feasible. Next slide, please. Okay, let's go ahead and discuss now the project duration. For phase 1, the schedule activities is as follows. Uh, we're going to have our community notices, which were done on October 28th. Our community meeting, which we're being held right now, is October 30th. Mobilization has already started. On October 13th, we brought in some signs, we brought in some equipment, and we have started construction today, where we're installing the new pipeline. Now, the final restoration and paving will start approximately August 2026, and the construction tentatively will end on October 2026. Now, all these dates that we're giving you are weather dependent. So depending on how the weather is, there might be some delays. Next slide, please. Now, for phase 2, the schedule of activities is as follows. We've done our community notices. We've done our community meeting, which we're doing now on October 30th. And we're going to start the mobilization January of 2026. And this is for phase 2. The construction will start around February 2026 with the final restoration of paving somewhere around October 2026 and the end of construction by December 2026. And again, all these dates are tentative on phase 2. And once phase 2 starts, everything is weather and site condition dependent. Next slide, please. Now, the picture that you're looking at showing a before picture on the left-hand side which typically shows the construction work zone. The picture on the right shows how the property will be restored in kind or in better shape. Now I will turn this presentation back over to Ms. Marshall, who will discuss the community awareness. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you, Mr. Nooks. Again, now I will now address community concerns and what you should be aware of. Next slide. So what to expect? Well, I know everyone hates construction, but the inconveniences will minimize, we'll try to keep it under control, and it's necessary in order for us to upgrade the infrastructures in the area. And what you're going to see is a lot of construction traffic, foot and vehicles, large dump trucks, heavy equipment, which we will try to contain within our work zone. There will be construction workers, county employees, and contracted workers throughout your community. There will be material and equipment deliveries by means of large tractor trailers. However, the crews and flaggers will guide these vehicles in and out of the community. What also come with this is the parking. Sometimes the crews may be parked along the work zone or in some type of common area where they will just be mobilized to the site. In addition, as a security measure, all county contractors and county employees will have some type of identification badge, so you know that they are doing the work for DeKalb County. There will be increased noise from the equipment backup alarms, heavy equipment usage, and saw cutting of the asphalt. Our typical work hours are from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., Monday through Friday, and sometimes on the weekends. Residents will always have access to their driveways during construction. However, this is a linear process. So in the event that we are installing pipe across your driveway, normally the contractor will knock on your door to see if you need to get in or out for that day. And if you needed to get out, sometimes they will request for you to park on the street or do something different. But if in the event, if they have the hole open and you need to get out, they will put down a metal plate and allow for you to drive over. That will allow you to get in and out of your driveway. And one last item, there will be dirt or silt on the street. However, the contractor is responsible for keeping the streets clean and swept daily. Next slide. So the sign on the bottom left of your screen is an example of our large construction sign. We have yet to install these. Currently, we have flashing message boards at each end of the project. One is at the I-20 end of Panola, and the other one is near the Salem Road area. Just warning or alarming the drivers of the ongoing construction, and if you could, try to avoid being on Panola Road. Secondly, on the bottom right-hand side is an example of a generic county contractor sign that we require our contractors to place on their unmarked company vehicles. Otherwise, the company must have a company logo on their vehicles. Next slide. So again, the contractor will provide traffic control to guide residents throughout the construction area. Initially, we will only start with one crew starting work at the Salem Road end. And as Mark said earlier, we started that actually today of opening the road. A second crew is tentatively planned to come and start work in January. They will start on the phase 2 portion of the project. The contractor has identified what we call a laydown area. This will be at Big Miller Grove Church. This is kind of like their staging area where they store materials, parking vehicles, putting equipment storage type things. One last thing we want to discuss is planned outages. When we're transferring the services over to the new line, this will require us to interrupt your water services for no more than 30 minutes. So we generally give you a notification prior to doing that or interrupting your services. However, in the event that sometimes we do have what we call just emergencies. The pipe is old. Sometime working in the area will cause the mains to break. There is no notifications when that happens. We just have to go in proactive mode and try to fix the pipe and get the system back up as quickly as possible. Next slide. Next, you will hear from Miss Angelita Streeter about public communications.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Angelita Streeter, and I'm the Public Outreach Specialist assigned to this project. Tonight, I'll share with you the methods DWM will use to communicate with you about the project. But before I do that, I want to briefly recap what has occurred so far within the community. Our outreach team has engaged with residents in high-impact areas. Our construction and engineering team has also worked with residents to obtain right of entry access to their properties as well. Next slide, please. Leading up to tonight's meeting, you may have received a notification letter describing the details of the project and informing you of tonight's meeting. Going forward, 48 to 72 hours before the beginning of construction, each homeowner and business will receive a door hanger like the one shown here, which will tell you the hours of work and what to expect during construction. We will also use email to communicate with you. If you have not done so already, please take a moment to provide your email address in the chat so that we can capture that information for future use. Next slide, please. These are the touch points we will use to communicate. First, we have the project hotline, which includes a 1-800 phone number and email address. We also have a dedicated web page for the project, which will have tonight's presentation posted there, as well as other project information. We will use our Twitter and Facebook social media platforms to share updates on the project. We will also use news releases and the county's weekly newsletter entitled The Relay to share information as needed. Other ways we will connect with you include DCTV, which is DeKalb County Television, the Nextdoor platform, project signs, which will be posted in about 2 weeks, our contractors, and frequently asked questions, which will be posted on the website. Next slide, please. The following QR codes lead you to several ways to get information on this project. They include Nextdoor, Facebook, Twitter, now known as X, YouTube, and the CIP projects page. Next slide, please. Listed here, you will find key contact information for the project. Most important is our dedicated project hotline and email address. Also listed here are the contact names of the engineering and construction team for the project. And finally, we have listed our 24-hour dispatch number if an emergency arises outside of normal business hours. And with that, this concludes our presentation. We thank you for your time this evening, and we will now move to the question and answer portion of the presentation. I saw at least one question in the chat.
Carrie, I do see a question that says, will construction hours be adjusted to facilitate to work rush hours and school dismissal hours? And how will emergency vehicles like ambulances be expected expedited during the construction hours?
So I think Mark addressed this earlier. We are starting and setting up around 7 o'clock. However, they really don't get into the streets to start the actual construction until 8:30ish after school is in, and then they will open up the ground. As far as the dismissal hours, I'm not sure if we've got a stop period in there. Are they stopping, Mark, for when they're letting school? No. Okay.
No, but we do have flaggers to get through to answer our other set of questions for the emergency vehicles. We have flaggers on each end, so whenever they get to the site, we stop all traffic and let the emergency vehicles go around. But yeah, for the school hours, we're not stopping.
Now, we do pay attention to that. If it creates a big havoc, then we do revisit it. But generally, we start to just work through it and work around it with the cops, flaggers, or whatever to keep the traffic flowing.
Correct.
Any other questions?
Yes, I had a question, kind of follow up to what was just asked. I just wanted to know if the bus stops for the elementary, middle, and high schools have been taken into consideration, and whether or not it means that where the children would normally stand to wait for the bus, if those areas are going to be safe for them to continue to do so, and if not, if the schools have been notified.
The school district has been notified.
As far as the MARTA buses go, we won't be blocking MARTA buses as we go along coming up Panola. We'll just be passing those by, and people we usually have plates, or we'll let people go around to get to the bus if the bus stop is there. Sometimes we even move a bus stop further down. We have moved bus stops in the past, but maybe 100 or 200 feet to the left or the right from where they're existing if they appear to be a problem. But usually a bus stop wouldn't be impacted in our daily work.
Okay, I
And
guess
we
my
might-
question just to follow up, because I heard her say the schools has been notified, but my question was, have the actual bus stop locations where the children stand to catch the bus, have those been flagged or, somehow made known to the contractor, so that whatever work is going to be going, I just wouldn't want kids to be in harm's way, or have to move and the bus driver doesn't know, those kinds of things. So that's why I mentioned, I raised that question. And then I have a couple more.
The staff members that we notify are actually in charge of scheduling the bus stops.
Okay. Thank you.
And there was a recommendation in the chat that suggested that you contact Salem Middle School to notify bus drivers of the construction or any possible delays. So I don't know.
We
I
can
guess
certainly do that.
Mhm.
That-
And then Mr. Bryson has his hand up.
Yes, I have a
Ken
question.
Bryson.
Right. At the moment, I think you guys only mentioned one time for a planned service disruption. How much advance notice will be provided when that occurs? And when that does occur, will there be a need to do a boil water advisory?
So I think our advance notice is 48 hours prior to, and no, that wouldn't not be a requirement for boil water.
Thank you.
What we're actually doing is taking you and hooking you to the new line that has been sterilized and tested. So no, there's no need to boil water.
And Miss Alston has her hand up, her real hand
Yes.
up.
Yeah. I wanted to ask, are only the streets that you listed in the slides the ones that will be affected, or will other streets also be affected that were not necessarily listed? And I guess my question had to do with water shutoffs, but from the way you've explained it, our regular system will remain working
That is
until you're actually
exactly,
ready to connect the
yes,
new.
that's
So
exactly perfect.
that is
Yes.
very relieving to hear that. And then I'm
So
hoping. Oh, okay. Was someone responding to that?
yeah, I
or-
was trying to answer the first question. So
Mhm.
we're just installing pipe down Panola Road. However, we are connecting the side streets. So that may require us to get in some of the intersections. And so we put them as impacted street because it will slow down traffic when you're coming through those side streets.
Mhm. Okay.
So the
And
yellow is impacted and blue is where the actual pipe is.
And I'm hoping that one of the side benefits of this project will be that area of Panola Road between Browns Mill and Snapfinger will be repaved. If you've ridden down that street, you'll see that the street's been patched multiple times, but it looks like a checkerboard. It doesn't look like a middle class neighborhood with the road looking like that. So I'm hoping that this project will result in that part of the Panola Road being repaved so it does not look like a checkerboard.
So when we do our work, we generally either put what we call a trench patch or we pave a lane. And quite frankly, I'm not sure which one we're doing. So we would have to reach back out and follow up and get you that information. So
Okay.
we wouldn't pave curb to curb the entire Panola Road. We will only just pave the lane or the trench and where we're laying the pipe.
Oh, I see. So actually, it could end up being more of a checkerboard.
I'm hoping, I'm thinking it's at least a lane, which makes it look a lot cleaner.
I might raise that question only because, it just looks bad. It's looked bad for a while now. And I had hoped when they closed Panola for 4 or 5 months when we had the water issue from the river, it would have been a great opportunity for them to pave the road, and it didn't happen then. So I'm hoping that maybe with this project that can happen. And then my last question was, will there be further meetings like this once the project is underway?
So on projects that generally runs a year long, our new process is that we would like to have at least one follow-up meeting. We will probably do that sometime after the phase 2 has started. So probably first quarter or second quarter next year, just to give a status updates and see how it's working out.
And could you put the slide back up that had the contact information, the numbers? It was taken down too quickly. I didn't get a chance to write all those numbers down. It was toward the end of the slides. Okay.
And Mr. Rosenfield hand is up.
Yes, thank you. Will there be any difference for the commercial properties along Panola Road in terms of interruption of service or how long it takes to change over to the new supply?
Generally, it may take longer. I think what we generally do is have the construction team reach out to each company individually to assess and just see what is required to tie in those services. Yes, that could potentially last longer than 30 minutes because you're generally not on a 3/4 inch service. It's usually a larger service.
Okay. Are those switchovers occurring at overnight?
No.
No.
No. No. Okay. But on the outside amount of time, if it's not half an hour, how long should we expect?
I can't imagine it'll take more than an hour. We wouldn't take you off until we're ready to connect it. So even if it's a lot of figuring out that we need to do before we connect it, we would do that before we just take you off.
Understood. Thank you.
And Mr. Bryson?
Yeah, I think it may have been mentioned earlier as far as coordination, but I know that, and I've attended a couple of the Stonecrest City Council meetings, and so they were talking about their 2026 program, paving plan, and then they also mentioned some GDOT projects. I think replacement of the Panola Road Bridge. So has there been coordination from scheduling standpoint with those activities so that they are not in conflict, or they pave a road and then you guys come and cut up a newly paved road, or vice versa?
Well, usually we have that's settled two ways. We have a UCC meeting every month, which is Utilities Coordinating Committee. I mean, meeting with most of the people in DeKalb County and all of the utilities, Atlanta Gas Light, some of the cities, Dunwoody, Stonecrest, or whatever. And usually they'll send out a potential paving schedule. And if any streets that are on that paving schedule, we look and compare and see if there's any streets that are on our work schedule. And then we usually fast forward that information over to them and they'll see if they can either push back their paving or we need to push up our pipe installation. And then we also have a Mr. Killingbeck who actually works in our, he handles most of our GDOT work and for liaison with the cities. And he usually gets a listing sometimes from the cities of streets that are going to be paved. And he'll share that with us. He'll share that with Mrs. Marshall.
Copy that. Thank you.
So there is coordination. We generally, yeah, we don't want to, come in and then tear it up. And actually, it works out now that we're here and no one has paved it. So if it's on the City of Stonecrest paving list, great. That means they will come in and pave it. So we actually probably need to investigate that. That actually helps us.
Are there any other questions?
I have two questions posted in the chat. Would you mind responding to those, please?
Those questions are, do you anticipate any period when all traffic on Panola Road will be completely shut down?
No,
Similar to 3 months closure during the spring? And the answer is no, okay.
we will not be
And-
shutting down all of Panola on any type of way, any given day. No, we can't shut the whole road down like that. Not for what our water line is.
And then the second question from Ms. Canty is, does the project impact the reopening of South River Park, located between Snapfinger and Minus Creek?
No, it shouldn't. No.
If I'm, excuse me, if I may clarify,
Mhm.
my question is, at this time, South River Park has been closed for nearly a year and a half, 2 years, approaching 2 years. So the project of the water main, this project that we're on the call for, it's not directly in any way tied to the reason why the South River Park is shut down. Is that what I'm understanding?
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you.
We're just upgrading our systems.
Okay.
Are there any other questions?
Would it be proper to expect that there would be some single laning on, I guess, Panola Road at certain times during this construction?
Possibly, but we have flaggers and we have police staff out there to direct traffic.
Copy that. Thank you.
I have one last question. Will this cost us as residents, either with our water bills or our taxes?
Well, quite frankly, we went through this whole rate increase. The rate increase does help provide or pay for these construction projects.
So we should not expect another rate increase, is what you're saying?
We can't speak for Lorraine Cochran Johnson.
Well, it's approved. I want to say it's a 10 by 10 is what we're calling it.
Correct.
10% over 10-year period. Beyond that, he's right. We can't, speak for any of the CEOs.
Could I ask one more question? This is Ms. Canty speaking. I know the streets that you're working on, the Panola Strip, are very old and therefore they don't have necessary sufficient drainage for rain runoff. So there's collections of water and people are unable to walk to and from their stores to their schools because there's so much water when it does rain. Is any part of this project addressing that? I know it's a water main project. It's not a road improvement project. I understand that, but it is a big issue.
No, you would have to take that up with roads and drainage.
Oh, okay.
Are there any more questions?
Earlier, there was a QR code that was put up for the capital improvement projects. Is that for all of them or for this one specifically?
For all of them, all of the projects that we have going on right now.
Okay. Would you mind putting that up again? Or putting it in the, I guess, a link in the chat?
Also, can you all put your email addresses in the chat? We won't spam you. We send emails bi-weekly to monthly to give you updates about the project.
Brenda, you had those QR codes?
Now,
There you can
those
scroll up.
QR codes were all related to social media, YouTube, Nextdoor, Facebook, and
Oh,
Twitter.
okay. Okay.
They were not
Oh,
for the
that's the old one.
project, so we would
Okay.
need the link for the projects. Mhm.
Or I thought that there was one
If
on
you,
the pet CIP.
I thought it was,
Yeah,
I
me
actually thought it
too.
was one too.
At the end, it says CIP.
It's the
project.
last one.
Okay, let me go back. Mhm. All right, let's see. Okay, so let's see.
Thank you.
The CIP projects right here. Mhm. Okay.
Okay, there are no more questions. Thank you for attending this meeting this evening. And you'll receive an email if you included your email in the chat with tonight's presentation in it. And the more information about the CIP projects page.
Very well, thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody have a good evening.
Thank you. Good night.
Be well.
Thanks.
Good night.